Jamie Dimon bid $2 for Bear Stearns because he could. This was a shotgun marriage. It was a marriage of convenience, inconvenience, however you want to describe it.
The original price was later revised up to $10 a share, but this was of no comfort to the employees who lost their jobs. Little did we know at the time, the collapse of Bear Stearns was just an early casualty in the carnage that would soon spread across global finance. Andrea Lombardo is a credit crunch survivor. He worked in equity sales for some of the city's biggest banking names for more than 10 years. But in April, all that changed. So why does a man on a six-figure salary decide to take a punt in the shirt business? Andrea could see the end of the good times in banking was on its way. He decided to turn his other passion into a business. And Andrea's certainly not alone. Across the Atlantic, Courtney Kaiser used to work for a fund of hedge funds in Midtown Manhattan. That's a little different from what she does now.
With a liquidity crisis hitting the global financial markets in 2008, Hungary's economy deteriorated, confidence evaporated, and the country was pushed to the brink of default. The forint hit an all-time low against the euro, and that put the country's 1.7 million homeowners with foreign currency mortgages very much at risk. Hungary had to ask the IMF and the EU for $25 billion in support.
We have a crazy situation. In a crazy situation, you have to take crazy precautions. And that's exactly what we are doing. We are building defenses that the market thinks are not worth attacking.
The program was very successful, and all results show that this has been a strong case for doing a program like this, because Hungary is stabilized now.
Hungary is not Greece. Of course, there were some blunders, there were skirmishes about this blunder, but the case is clear-cut. The new Hungarian government will keep the budget deficit under control.
The brutal economic situation resulted in a government crisis. The country's prime minister stepped down, and the former finance minister, Valdis Dombrovskis, stepped up. He's vowed to keep the lat pegged to the euro, but the markets have been skeptical.
They faced two alternatives. Either they had to go through a very strong domestic recession, which is what we're seeing at the moment, or they had to devalue their currencies. And the devaluation option isn't completely ruled out at present.
There's no easy way out of the crisis, but the region has been through more challenging times before. This weekend is the 20th anniversary of the Baltic Way, the day the Baltic people formed a 600-kilometer human chain in a demand for independence. The three countries are just as unified today in their determination to tackle the current economic crisis. We're here in Nida, Lithuania, on the edge of the Baltic coast for our own mini CNBC Baltic Summit, and we've assembled probably the most important characters in this three-act play. To my right, I have Prime Minister Andris Ansip from Estonia, I have Andrius Kubilius from Lithuania, and of course to his right, Mr. Valdis Dombrovskis from Latvia. The three key players in this incredibly interesting and hopefully ending story.
On our Central European tour, the question is being asked about models as well as whether we're in recovery or not. The EBRD today, of course, mentioning that this could well be a crisis in transition. Do we need a sea change in how foreign exchange loans are organised?
The worst is on our back. We are moderately positive for 2010, even though still the crisis will be there. Only 2011 we will see the region go back to the previous growth.
I really think Slovakia is a success story, and we have achieved so many successes. We are 5 years into European Union, NATO. We are members of Schengen zone, and since the 1st of January this year, we are also members of the Eurozone as the first post-communist countries. These are, of course, the facts that speak for themselves.
We spoke earlier to the chief executive of the Warsaw Stock Exchange, who explained just how much success they're seeing on the market at the moment.
We have had a lot of successes in building a very open, very international market. Otherwise, we wouldn't have such lively IPO market, and we wouldn't discuss the current position of the WSE, which is already a leader among other Eastern or Central Eastern European markets.
Our very own Ross Westgate gets the plum assignment. He's on site with some pretty plum guests. Hey, Ross.
Hey, Brian, good to see you. They've just opened the gates. I can tell you the crowds are flooding already to book their spots.
Is this Wimbledon? It's sunny. Joining me now, though, to talk about who's going to win this year. 3 times when he's appeared in 7 finals, the youngest ever winner of Wimbledon. He doesn't really need any introduction. Boris Becker. Boris, good to see you. How important is this? Look, this sun for the players. They're going to enjoy this. They can get straight out there, no delays. How important is that if you're a player this week?
Well, it's a dream start because obviously you always expect rain at Wimbledon, but you want to get a couple of matches under your belt. If it rains on the weekend, it's not as bad. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for the players and for the tournament organisers, it's important the tournament starts well off.
Thanks so much indeed for joining us. And
Thank you.
It'd be nice to see this man picking up a racket once again. It doesn't seem very long ago, Boris, that you were out there scampering as a 17-year-old.